Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to the Beyond Crystal Code. I'm Coco, and I'm here with the one and only, my dear, lovely co host, Carla from the Ascension Organite Shop. Carla, how are you?
Hello, Coco. How are you? How's everybody doing? Hello, hello.
Carla, we have a promo here on your site. Can you just speak on it for a couple of seconds? What is popping and dropping at your shop?
Right, yeah. So we had the Black Friday sale last week, but I received a bunch of emails saying, "Can you extend it? Can you extend it? I didn't have time to order this and that." So I decided to give it 2 more days. So it'll be going on until tomorrow. So tomorrow's the last day that you can take advantage of the huge sale that we did for Black Friday.
So if you guys want to start your shopping for the holidays, now is the time. She has amazing products. I have one of your pyramids in the back. I think it's really small. You don't see it. It's super small up there in the front, the back. But yeah, so now it's the time to go at Ascension Organites, and all of the information is in the description box below. And before we hop into the topics du jour, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our Rumble channel, Jean Claude at Beyond Mystic. And if you are a YouTube lover, I got you there too, boo boo. Jean Claude Beyond Mystic 003. And talking about promotions, we still have the IAP at 50% off. Only enter the code Monday50 and you will have your membership for a full year. So this is running until December the 7th. So now let's hop into it, ladies and gents. I see the comments trickling in. And the topic du jour, we're going to deep dive into the universe of manifesting. That
Mhm.
is our topic. And we want to go beyond the wishful thinking of manifesting. And we want to talk about how to create your reality consciously and unconsciously. So, darlings, grab your tea, grab your water, grab your kombucha, grab your Chardonnay, if that floats your boat, and let's jump into it. And before we start talking about this topic, Carla, do you want to share what are your favorite manifesting rituals?
Yeah, so you're gonna laugh, but I've done this since I was a little girl, and I actually speak out loud, but I speak to myself. So I am known to have like full on conversations out loud by myself. so,
Okay.
uh, so that's how I do it. It's like I speak out what I want to happen, how it
Mm.
makes me feel, how I want things to work out. So you can think of them as affirmations or but not really. It's even just like speaking out what I want, speaking out how I want my day to look, how I want a certain situation to go. I also visualize a lot, so I'm a bit of a daydreamer. So I'm like as I'm working, I'm visualizing conversations or situations. That may be actually, now that I think about it, maybe that's why I'm so anxious all the time, because I keep but that's well, we'll get into that. But yeah, basically how I manifest, if I want to intentionally manifest something, I'll speak it out loud and I'll visualize it. I write sometimes, but I don't do that too often. I can do that, like maybe I'll do that during a full moon if I want to get rid of something, or like let go of things that don't serve, things like that. But yeah, those are my two favorite things to do. Do you have any, like, call it ritual, or like something you do to manifest?
I visualize a lot. Pretty much every day I do that. But I also be careful the way that I speak. I'm working on it. I'm not like the best angelic person. Y'all know I get ghetto sometimes, but I do be careful, and especially the people around me and my loved ones, family, friends as well. I always say out loud that, like, we need to be careful how we speak, because our words speaks our intentions and it brings it to reality. So I
Mhm.
always correct myself instead of saying, um, when I'm talking to my family, friends, partner, I'm like, oh my gosh, work, I was overloaded with work. Then I prefer saying I had a very productive day. So I
Right.
try to like work on it, but it's difficult, because when you're like in your routine, like I'll catch myself saying, "Oh my gosh, today was this kind of day." That I'm like, "Oh man, okay, no, I have to come back." No, I mean, so that's how I try to work on my rituals of manifesting, but visualization and meditation is what I do the most. But I'm pretty much like you as well. When I do journal, it's during like a full moon or a
Right.
new moon to, yeah, like do that inner work and like get rid of the bad juju around me. But yeah, that's how I pretty much roll as well in my day-to-day rituals. But everybody that's watching, and if you're watching this on the replay, please write it down in the comments because we're going to read it. We love reading your tips and tricks as well. And what are your rituals when it comes to manifesting your reality? And I wonder if you wanted to hop on, Carla, on what is
The basics of
truly,
like,
yeah,
right.
truly
Right.
the basics of manifesting the subconscious, unconscious, consciousness, etc. So if you want to hop into that topic.
Yeah, because I was thinking of like I was thinking about this today. It's like how last week we were talking about grounding, and these are concepts that we know, right? But I
Mhm.
find it so cool that we're going like back to basics. And even if you're just starting out and you have no idea what any of this stuff is, this is helpful. But if you're also been doing it for years, I was like writing down what I wanted to talk about today, and I was like, oh my god, like sometimes it's helpful to kind of go back and look at what things actually are and how going back to basics. So manifesting is basically the way that we create our reality. And we do this all the time. You do this every day with your thoughts, your feelings, your words. Like you were saying, the words are extremely powerful. They're like spells. And I thought about something that Penny Kelly said. I think it was in one of the Wacky Woo shows some months ago. I don't remember exactly the one, but she described it in a way that it was like, it was so visual to me and it stuck. And she described it basically like, think of your reality as like a bubble. So every person, it has their own bubble around them, and that's your reality. So you are constantly creating that reality. Think of it as like if it was a simulation or a computer program, let's say, and you're constantly affecting what you're perceiving and what you're seeing, and then other people also do that as well. And I like the what she said, that sometimes we choose to interlap these realities with other people. So if everyone has a bubble and then we come into the same space, we're all sharing that reality together. We're all kind of like creating it.
Yeah.
Um, and I thought that was such a cool. I mean, I'm paraphrasing what she said. She obviously explained it better, and you can go back to like watch anything that Penny Kelly says. She's lovely with like anything about consciousness and stuff like that. But it is actually based on it's like you could call it a science, a psychology. It has to do with the fact that our subconscious really affects our thoughts and the way we see life and the way we act and the way we perceive things that happen. So the it has a lot to do with the way you speak about your lives. So we all know that person that's always like, "Oh my God!" I was thinking about what you said at the beginning. I know people that make these statements, and now that I know, before I wouldn't even think about it, but now that I know, I catch it all the time. They'll make these statements, and I'm thinking, "Oh my God, universe is listening to you." Like something like, every time I go out, there's traffic.
Yeah.
Or every time I go to the supermarket, I can't find parking. And I'm thinking, you know what? Every time you go to the supermarket, you're not going to find parking because you keep saying
So
that.
true. Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
like, it's hard because in their mind, they're just expressing something that maybe happened to them, but they don't realize how powerful it is what they're saying, that they're actually creating the circumstance that whenever they go to the supermarket, it's going to be super crowded and they're not going to find parking, right? So
Yep.
it's a double-edged sword because we can manifest positive, beautiful things, but it can also be to our detriment when we speak negative and we go into a different mindset. It also has to do with like how our nervous system is feeling. If you're in fight and flight mode, you're not going to be able to kind of align and ground to be able to manifest. So there's also something that I like to think of like manifesting intentionally. So if you want
Mhm.
to, like, let's say you want to manifest a new job or something in your life, a situation. It's about the frequency and the alignment and the vibration of what you're trying to create. So it's a good practice to kind of rewire the thoughts that you have and the words that you're speaking to make sure that you're not like shooting yourself in the foot every morning by saying, oh, this day or that or this and that, because it's going to happen. Universe is listening, God is listening.
Yeah.
So let's see the um so we can get into like what I use to like how I manifest intentionally.
Hmm, sure.
Just like what I do and what has worked for me, and I encourage people to like try, because you don't lose anything, just
You have
try it.
nothing to lose.
Right.
Exactly. You have
The worst
nothing to lose. The worst thing you're going to lose is just like, okay, the thought, the time of processing that ritual. But besides that, you ain't gonna lose nothing, you know?
Right. It's like
Mhm.
how we were talking about when we were talking about abundance, how this concept of if you think of something for 21 seconds, it's already
Yes.
created,
Yeah.
and you have to just align to it. So the first thing you want to do if you want to manifest something is identify what it is that you want, and be specific, but there's also some caveats. For example, if you because I've heard people say, oh, I'm gonna manifest all this money, and I'm gonna and all this abundance, and I'm like, yeah, but is that the right frequency? Is that like an ego driven thing, or are you trying to why like it carries different frequencies. You want to make sure it's on a higher frequency. So I would say just try to say or speak that you want financial freedom, or that you want this resources to create this that you're going to build, to then what is the purpose of that. So identify the what, and that's it. You don't have to worry about the when, the how.
How? Mhm.
You don't have to worry about any of that. Universe always takes care of it. And I can, oh my God, you guys, I can spend hours telling you stories about things that had happened to me, and the how is never the way you imagine it. Never. And that's so important, because if you like, I'll give you an example. My husband had been trying to manifest leaving his 3D job for years. And he had this idea of how it's going to happen. He thought, yes, I'm going to win the lottery. I'm not going to like,
Love it.
right? And then I kept telling him, I'm like, you're when you're worrying about the how, you're giving universe a limit. Like, you're telling the universe, okay, this is the parameter that I want, and that's it. So it's gonna either not happen, or it's gonna take so long, because so many things have to move for these, for whatever you're asking to happen. So I told him, just focus on what you want to leave your 3D job. Just focus on what. And the way it happened, it was basically through me and with Ascension Organites, and we had no idea that it was going to be in that way. So, and also the when, he had been trying for years and years and years and years, and then all of a sudden everything clicked, and in less than 2 months everything happened for him. So it's also about, like, don't worry about the when, don't just worry, and on the how, just worry about what you want, and be specific, but also
Specific.
do it from like a higher frequency. Make sure that what you're trying to manifest is not going to hurt somebody, or um and it also, I think a huge thing is, it has to be accompanied by some work. Like, you have to do some inner work, you have to do some shadow work, you have to look at, yeah, that's
Shadow
hard.
work is huge. It's huge. I think it's a must that you have to go through it. It's horrible. It's
Mhm.
hardcore. It's going deep down into your wounds, your child trauma, whatever. It is so difficult, but when you get through that hike, I see it's like you know when you're hiking and you're trying to get to the top and then like, oh, finally I made it. Well, it's that process that you go through all of the emotions when you're hiking a mountain and you're like, okay, in the beginning you're on fire, you're like, yeah, this is great, I feel great. And when you're at midway, or you're like, okay, how in the world am I going to get through it?
Right.
And then you get to it. So it's intense, but it's so worth it.
It
You have
is.
through it. You have
And
to.
then it's gonna, I feel like it teaches you so much about yourself, and
Yeah.
you become so self-aware. Also with like what triggers you, why certain negative emotions come into play. And then once you know what that is for you, then it'll be easier for you to also kind of control that or mitigate it or deal with it. Thinking about like the example with my husband, he had to work through a lot of limiting beliefs and like blockages, especially with like lack mentality, because and we did that through work, like working with people and doing hypnotherapy and stuff like that, because he had this belief deep down in his core that in order to be successful he had to sacrifice, and he had to like, you know, he had to give up something from himself in order to be okay. And like that's not true. You know, you could have your boundaries, and you could be healthy, and you can also be successful and do what you love. So it's not necessarily like you have to look at those beliefs that maybe you don't really realize that are affecting you or limiting you, or like narratives. I always say it's like we all have these narratives that we tell ourselves over and over, and when you really look at them, it's not true.
Yeah.
They're not true. They're just things that maybe you were programmed with when you were a kid. You heard them so many times, or maybe it's stuff that you're carrying from other lives. We don't know, right? So
Mm-hmm.
so in order to manifest something, I think you have to kind of like, you have to make space, and you have to also deal with those limiting beliefs, because I feel like, think of it as an exchange. Maybe universe is asking you to exchange energy, do some work in order for align yourself to whatever it is that you're trying to do or to achieve. And that takes me also to like, in the moment that you're trying to manifest, the best thing you could do is align to those feelings. You know how always Janine always says, fake it till you make it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's so right, because she would say like whenever she's trying to manifest something, she would just like fake it till she makes it. Like she would just like pretend that it happened already, and like tap into that feeling and be so happy and so grateful because that she was trying to do happened. And that's exactly what you have to do. So it's not that complicated. All you have to do is just imagine that what you're trying to manifest already happened,
Yeah.
and you're so grateful for it. And that's the key, is being grateful for it and saying, oh my god, such a relief that it happened. And I can tell you a story that this is when I was first starting to manifest, like actively manifesting, like intentionally manifesting. I used to work in a corporate office,
Yeah.
and I would be assigned like projects to work with people. And I remember my boss came to me one day, she assigned me this project, and as soon as I went to meet the people, I was like, oh, this is going to be very difficult. Like, and I was like, I don't know. I don't want to deal with this because I already had a lot of things to do. So I took action, and I told her, look, I'm sorry, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. Can you put me somewhere else? And she was like, well, sorry, we can't do that because you're the only one that can work on it. I was like, okay, fine. Every day for 2 weeks, I said, thank you so much for taking me out of this project. I wish the people well, but this is not for me. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I did that constantly, like every single morning when I was driving to work, constantly. Coco, I kid you not, 2 weeks passed, and we were at a meeting, and after the meeting was done, my boss comes to me and she goes, oh, we're going to have to drop the contract because we found out something that happened that we're not going to be able to work with them. And I was like, really?
Oh, that's so sad. No way.
Yes.
That's amazing.
And I was like, I went back to my car and I was like, no way. I totally manifested that I didn't want to be in that situation. And I didn't want to like, and I remember tapping into in the car being like, I'm so grateful. I am so relieved. Thank you so much that I don't have to like work on this project or do this. And I know it's silly, but in the moment I
No,
just
it's
wanted to try
not.
it. I
Exactly. It's
wanted to
not
try it.
silly. Uh-huh.
Because
Well,
I thought I was gonna like, I felt like my energy was gonna be drained with
yeah,
that with,
there you
you know, and
go.
I just didn't want to do it. And it worked. And it took me, I want to say 2 weeks, but I feel like that's fast, because sometimes you're trying to manifest something and it takes years. So that's something that also I've noticed that like things are so accelerated now. So before it used to take like years, months to manifest something. Now it's literally weeks and days,
Yeah.
sometimes even hours. So be careful what
No,
you.
it's very intense, and manifesting as well. It's staying open to that whole process and not trying to control it, because I do catch myself. I'm a control freak. I got to say it. Like, I have to control everything. Like, moving of houses, honey. I was like 10 steps ahead of, if that happens, how can I prepare myself for before that happens? So I always have to be 10 steps ahead. So when you're manifesting, you need to just like be open, like let go and let God, honey. That's all I could say. It's a saying, but it means a lot. Whatever, the universe, your angels, whatever, but you just need to let it go. But I wanted to also ask you, how do you do the difference between your desire of manifesting your reality and the ego part of it?
So I think it has to do with I think it has to do with frequency, because if you're trying to manifest something for your ego, because let's say it's not the same as saying I want to manifest abundance in my life because I want to show people that I have something, or I want to just get this huge house or this super expensive car because I want people to see me and I'm looking for that validation. Then I would say then you need to do some inner work and find out why you need that validation,
Why?
right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
It's not the same as saying I really want to manifest abundance because I want to be financially free, and because the resources that I'm going to get I'm going to put towards creating something or helping people, or I don't know, it's a different frequency, right? So if it's aligned, if it's more aligned with your path and your heart, it's more likely that universe will help you achieve it faster. Just because it's not about your ego, it's not about how you feel about yourself, it's actually what you want to do with it. I
Mhm.
remember also Cliff and JC talked about the karma that you create when you're, and the fact that we used to be in this karma cycle and not anymore. But yeah, sometimes when you manifest something and if that manifestation is hurting someone, you were creating karma. And now it's a different process they explained, but I can see how that could help. Like if you're saying I just wanna have like this huge house, so that people can see it, maybe you're creating a little bit of karma for yourself, because how are you gonna obtain that? But if you're
Mhm.
saying I just want to have financial freedom to help others, then that's positive karma because you're giving something of yourself. So I would say that's the difference. And when you were saying before about letting it go, that's huge. That's a huge step too. So right after you work on like the gratitude and aligning with those feelings, and you I would say the next step will be to ask yourself, okay, what is something that I can do right now to align with that version of myself? Like, what is an action that I can take right now? So let's say, I don't know, you want to create a new business, then start planning it. Sit down and start planning what you're going to do. Like, just show universe that you're willing to make that step, they're willing to make the jump, and
Yeah.
that you're also going to put effort, because it's not like, oh, I want to manifest abundance and it's like, oh, okay. I mean, it could happen that you're just going to get something out of thin air, but maybe not. Maybe you have to put some work into it, and kind of like take a line action to what you're trying to do.
Mhm.
And the next step will be, then after you do all this process, let go and surrender, and just kind of like trust that it's out there,
Mhm.
that you already created it, it's already happened, you tapped into the gratitude, it's already done, and let it go and don't think about it anymore, because it's like what you were saying, it's about, you cannot control it because it's not up to you, right? So
Mhm.
you have to surrender to the path the universe wants you to take. When is it going to happen? You don't know. How is it going to happen? You don't know. So you have to surrender to that, and you have to kind of let things fall where they may. And sometimes it's hard because we want things to be done now, especially
Uh-huh. Exactly.
it's like instant gratification. But sometimes things take a little bit longer because things need to happen. It's like I always go back to the example of my husband leaving his 3D job, because it was huge for us, and we waited years until it actually happened. But I also think it had to do with, he had so much work that he needed to do. He needed to clear out his blockages. He needed to, I mean, come on, universe was like creating a business for us. Like,
Mhm.
how, that's not going to be overnight. That took years to develop, right? But we trusted the process, and eventually he had to jump and do it. There was a moment where I feel like it's funny. It's going to sound funny, but I feel like universe was telling him, okay, you need to take an action. You need to take action. You need to actually leave this job. And he was scared to do it. And he was saying, no, 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 wait. I need to hold on a little bit longer. I need to see how things are going to play out. And I kept telling him, you need to jump. Like, you need to just do it. And
Wow.
he'd be like, no, no, no. And you know what started to happen? He waited, and things around him started to degrade to the point that he couldn't stand being there anymore. And it was actually almost like universe forced him to
Ah,
jump. And until one day he was like, okay, I have to do it. And he couldn't do it anymore. And out of nowhere, without telling me or anything, he just quit. And he finally took the step. But right after he took the step, everything aligned. And within, I don't know, I want to say a month or two, he was already living the life that he was trying to manifest, like having more time for himself, feeling more at peace. But he had to take that action. He had to kind of
mhm.
go and
And what's important that he did is that he listened to the signs. Because you know
right.
that a lot of us, we don't listen to the sign. And that I always say that to, especially to my friends when they're going to like through hardships, hard moment professionally, family wise, or love life, is that if you don't listen to the signs, the universe will give you a tower card. That's for sure. And a huge slap in the face. It's always cute. You know what I mean? Like the universe will give you just like one little lesson and you're like, okay, no, it's good. And you don't listen to it. And the universe is like, oh, you trying me? And then
Yeah.
there's another one. And you're like, yeah, whatever. And you're like, oh, word. That's what you're doing. And then the slap in the face, the tower card is there, and all hell breaks loose. So you have to listen to the signs. And you talking about your husband when he was in the 3D working life, it reminds me of my story as well, because in this story, I want to share that not because when you're in the process of manifesting, not because you have to do a step back, that means it's failing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just teaching you, that it's preparing you. So when I was in the 3D, I was working for the government, the Liquor Board Commission here. It's on everything that's with alcohol and everything here in Quebec, in the province of Quebec in Canada. It's owned by the government. So I was working at the Liquor Board Commission here. And I've been there for a long time. I was there like for 20 years. I started at 18 working
Wow.
in the stores, went to college, university, and then went up at the head office. But I was there and like, okay, have this like secure job, pension, blah 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 blah. And when I decided to fly on my own and be self-employed, but still continue as a sommelier because I was hosting wine events, so I decided to quit the government job. And I'm like, yay, I'm living my best life. I'm self employed, doing what I like to do, wine tasting events in the superficial wine life. I'm going to say it as it is. Everybody, like, there's no shade, but working in the wine industry is very egocentric,
Right.
flashy. Look at me, look at my bottles. So, anyways, I was self employed, doing that for maybe 8 years. No, my daughter is 10, so maybe 6 years in, and then COVID hits. But
Mm.
I lost everything. No more events, lockdown. You couldn't do anything. If you're working in the event world, that was done for you. So I lost everything. So that was like step back number one. I had no job. And like the universe said, hey, listen, you need to go back to the 3D world. The government job, the Liquor Board Commission, out of the blue, send me an email saying, hey, do you want to come back? But in my head, I was like, oh man, really? This is like a failure. I did everything to not be in the 3D and now I'm back in it. But like deep down, I was still in it, even if I was self-employed working in the wine industry. But I was like, okay, I have nothing else. And I'm in, like, it's COVID era. I have to go back to work. So I went back to we call it the SAQ, the Liquor Board Commission here. And I did that for like the whole COVID era. How long was that? Like 2, 3 years? I don't even remember.
Yeah. So 22, 21, 22.
Yeah. So I
23.
did that. And out of the blue, like, I got humbled. Like, we're talking about grounding of last week, and then like my chair fell, and like,
Oh my God,
well,
yes.
I'm not lying. When the universe decides to humble you and to ground you, that's what it's going to do it exactly. And that's what happened to me. So I went back to the 3D world, got humbled, grounded myself, refocused on my professional life, and then boom, Beyond Mystic arrived. And I was like,
Mhm.
no freaking way. It's true. So when you're in that process of manifesting your reality, don't worry if you do step back
Right.
and go back, rewind to certain process levels in your life. Don't take it as a failure. It's just universe preparing you for what you requested.
Right. No, but I think of like universe was taking care of you too in a way, because it's saying, okay, you lost everything. Let me get you back to a stable, to
Yeah.
then give you that kind
No.
of like safety, so then you can jump again and
Yeah.
keep going. So think
Mm.
I always think of like you're climbing a ladder, and sometimes you're gonna have those, like, those um we call them, like, in Spanish we say, like, the rest area of the ladder is like you're not going really down, but you're kind of like resting to keep going up, like, how the stairs like have different levels. So I that's what I think when you said that. It's like universe was taking care of you. It didn't want you to be out there and had no job, right?
Right?
Well, you did your thing, and it was so scary when he left too, because
I can
it
imagine.
involved, for us, it involved my family and everything else, and we definitely had a tower moment because everything crumbled. But I see, like, years past. This was, like, I think at the end of 2023, so it's been already 2 years, and everything kind of like fall, it fell when it in its place, and life is beautiful now. And
Right?
his main thing that he was trying to manifest really was having time to be with me and with the kids. That was his number one thing. But he was also concerned, financially, what are we going to do? Because my job is so stable. Like you were saying, like, I had a stable job where no matter what happens, I'm always going to have that salary. So he was so afraid, coming from lack mentality. Like, how am I going to just quit and do nothing, or like how figure it out? And I kept telling him, you need to jump, you need to jump, you need to jump. And as soon as he did, everything sort of flourished in a way that we could not have imagined. And now he does have the time to spend with the kids. He never misses, we never get to miss anything, like, like school plays and school things,
Aw.
because that's what he wanted. So I always tell him, like, you manifested this, like, you manifested this life. But it was a journey. It was a really, really long journey. And I was there with him along the way, because all the work that he was doing, I was also doing, because we were both like facing our shadow. And I remember when I got the store, and I reached out to work with JC. When JC comes, first of all, when I sent an email to JC and I kind of like said, hi, he's never gonna read this. He gets like 10,000 emails a day, whatever. And then he replies the next day. I'm like, oh, I was not expecting
What
that.
did I do?
But then JC goes like, yeah, you're gonna have to be on camera. I was terrified, and I said, no way, that's not what I wanted. I just wanted to like gift you something and call it a day. But I was like, I had to do my own inner work, and I was like, no, I'm gonna jump and I'm gonna do it. And look at what happened, years later. So absolutely, it's like, that's why you have to be focused on the what, not the how, not the when, and just listen to those
Right.
little signals, and the opportunities are gonna come, and you have to pay attention. That's where the self-awareness comes from. If you're paying attention, you're gonna notice those opportunities, and you're gonna take action and make happen whatever it is that you need to make happen.
Exactly. The universe nudge.
Exactly. So it's and also, like what you were saying about taking a step back, it's also, I look at it as sometimes for new things to come in, you have to make space, right? You need to make space for new things to come in. And that also means letting go of certain things, letting go of certain people. Let's say destroying something that you thought, or something that you thought was safe or like stable for you to make the space for new energy to come in.
Yeah.
And that may look like a step down, but it's actually not. It's just universe getting you ready for what's coming. Like you were saying, you need to make the space, and it's rearranging things. So I think, I mean, like we were saying, manifesting doesn't have to be difficult. We do it all the time, but if you want to do it, you do it intentionally. Practice with small little things. You know what I used to do? I used to get in the car to go drop off my son at school, and I would say, "Oh my God, like all the lights are green, and I'm gonna get there on time." And
Yes.
and all, because I would look at the line of red lights. I'm like,
Red
no,
light.
the lights are all green, and I'm gonna get there like 5 minutes early, and this drive is gonna be amazing. And it would be exactly that. And I practice every single day doing stuff like that. And I cannot tell you how many times I've like even have situations or problems, and I would say, no, I'm not gonna worry about the problem. I mean, I learned this actually working in a corporate office, because my job was basically dealing with fires and putting out fires.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say all the time, okay, I have this problem in front of me. Option number one, is there anything that I can do? Yes, take action, do it. Option number two, is there anything that I can do? No, because maybe it has to do with someone else doing, I have to depend on someone else doing something, or I'm waiting for this paper or this document. I will say, okay, then I'm letting go. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to see it. And it's going to get solved because I did what I had to. Look, I took my action. I'm just going to wait. And always, always, the solution will come to me. The right thing needed to happen for the problem to be solved. And it always worked out that way. Always. So it's actually pretty cool, and it's pretty fun if you want like play around with it every day, because you realize how powerful we are, and it takes you out of this like you feel so empowered, and it takes you out of this victim mentality, because now it's like,
Mm-hmm.
no, I can have control of what my reality looks like, and I don't have to fall into programs or let's say loops, these karmic loops. You can
Well,
take
just
yourself out of them.
practicing those little tricks that you're giving helps you to deprogram yourself from
Exactly.
what we've been learning since we were little kids at school,
Yeah.
and what our parents taught us because they went to school as well, or they had their parents teach them a certain way because they were stuck in the 3D world. So, and I'm not blaming the parents, I'm not blaming my parents of like, oh, you guys, it's all your fault that I got programmed like this. Well, they were programmed as well. So just practicing those little tricks that you're saying, just stepping into your car and like going through those green lights, it's so little, but it's an amazing practice.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I would say then move on to other things. And or if you have a situation that is so big, just or like something troubling you, worrying you, because I we all go through that. We all have problems. We all do things. But I always I stay positive and I manifest a positive outcome. So like if I'm dealing with a problem, like what I was saying, I'll say, okay, is there any action that I can take? Yes. Okay, so I'll take it. Is there any action that I can take? No. Okay, I'm letting go. Is going to get solved in the best way possible? Everything, for my highest benefit and for the highest benefit of everyone else. And usually it works out. And it's, you have no idea like the empowerment you feel. And sometimes is the problem now that I see is like when I come across people that are being a little bit negative or in that victim mentality, which in a way it's not their fault. This is something that we have been like, it's like ingrained in our brain since we're very little kids. Like we are victims of the situation or your surrounding or their circumstance. But now I recognize it straight ahead, and I can see it more. Maybe I'm a little bit less tolerant to it because I recognize it more. it's hard for me also because I come from a family of immigrants too. And they're constantly like comparing countries and saying this used to be this way and used to be that way.
It's true.
And
Yeah.
I always tell them, it's like, you know what? I get it. You did such a great thing coming, like such a brave thing coming to a new country and building your life from scratch. But your happiness is with you. It's not gonna be in an address, or it's not gonna be in a country. It's gonna be where you are, and you have to work with your
Your
um,
surroundings. Yeah.
right, with your surrounding. And obviously some people, it depends on a lot of situations. If you feel like you have to move, move. But
Hmm.
if you can't, then work with what you have, be positive, and it's always going to work out, always. Or
Totally.
I would
Totally.
say, like, I remember when you reminded me when COVID hit. I was lucky enough to be in Florida. Florida, we were like really, it was really cool here. But I remember one night my husband came home and he was like terrified because things were like, crumbling down around us.
Yeah.
Yeah, the closures and all
Same.
that stuff. And I told him, it's okay. Let's look at it like it's a movie. It's a movie. We're watching. We're gonna observe it. We're gonna watch it, and that's it. And it really didn't affect us. We were lucky enough that it didn't affect us, and we didn't have to go through any of the crazy stuff. So
Hmm.
it works.
I'm looking at the comments here from our audience member. We love your products, Carla. So glad you are here.
Thank
What
you.
else we have here? Oh, yeah, I put this up already. We're glad you jumped, Carla. This is from Joe.
Yeah, I'm
She
glad
did the
to.
jump. She did
Yeah.
it. She did it. Do you want to cover the concept of energetic reshuffling?
The rearranging. Yeah, that's like sometimes you have, like, I think universe needs to make space.
Yeah.
So yeah, we kind of like talked about it. It's like if something doesn't look right or things are like a step down, that's really what it is. I can think of actually for me, I was actually talking to my husband the other day about this because he says that he was saying to me, sometimes when we're going through something really tough and you're going through something like really, really difficult, and who knows what the situation is, it's actually like it's the tower moment. What is the tower moment? It's like you destroy everything to then build something new.
True.
So he was saying, like, we're struggling with this, but it's because universe is preparing our space for something new to come in. So
Very true.
that's what I think it is. And sometimes it takes time. It's not a like an immediate thing. So
Yeah, you have to trust, like we always say, trust the process, trust the divine timing, because everything has to come into divine timing. If you're not ready and the universe sees that you're not ready, then it can't be offered to you. Because how are
mhm.
you going to deal with whatever you're asking for if you're not grounded, strong into your power and ready to receive? Then there's no point into having it, because if you do get it, it's not going to last forever. It's not going to be tangible and long lasting for whatever it is. Like if it's to help your family members, so you
Mhm.
want financial freedom, like you say, to help your family members. Well, it's not going to last long enough for you to help your family members because you were not fully grounded into it. So yeah, that's like very important to trust the process and divine timing. And right before we hop into this topic that I want to bring with you into the tools that you could use to help you into your rituals, I just want to share this because we were speaking about her during the show. Um, Let me put it up here. Penny Kelly, the
Yes,
consciousness
yes.
conference TED talk that she did during the Beyond Mystic conference this past March. You could find this at the Beyond Mystic Academy. It is up there. So this is like divine timing. Here you
Yeah,
go.
there
Like
you
we
go.
didn't even think about it, but yeah. So well, Carla was talking about Penny. I was like, okay, let me put up that conference that Penny has. So we launched it this week. So go to Beyond Mystic Academy to tune in with our dear Penny Kelly. And yeah, so I wanted to hop into this topic of what do you suggest as tools to work with to amplify your manifestations, your rituals?
Right. So I would say there's many things that you can do. There's people that do, well, we talked about speaking out loud, visualizing. You could also do like future journaling. So you can write out, like, write a letter to yourself in the future. And, or no, write a letter to yourself like you were in the future and tell your past self what happened. And like you're already creating that just by writing it down.
Yeah.
You could do a vision board. Everything has to do around gratitude. Some tools that I think I would say, number one, crystals. And by that, by the same token, organites, because organites have crystals. But there's like crystals that carry this frequency to give you like good luck, a boost of motivation, help you take action. So just to mention a few, because there's so many, I would say first, like green aventurine. This is like the good luck stone. It's like, this is a boost of good luck. So if you're trying to manifest abundance, you're trying to manifest something new, I would say do green aventurine. You could use citrine, which is good for like
Love
creativity, your solar plexus, um, also abundance because of the color.
that. Hmm.
Sunstone, because you remember we talked about it last time. It's also the solar plexus. Solar plexus is where our life power comes from. Like everything that we create comes from there. And also like more general ones, you could do pyrite. It's good for like abundance as well. You could do moonstone, which is, moonstone is, for me, is the stone of new beginnings. So anything new that you want to make happen, you work with moonstone. Also like clear quartz, which is an amplifier. So anything that you want, any intention, clear quartz is going to help you with that. And amethyst too. Amethyst is good for like protection, for like keeping you aligned, connecting to your inner guidance and in your inner knowing. Black obsidian is, or any crystal that is black, that is going to help you protect while you're manifesting these things. So I actually got an email the other day, and they asked me, what do you mean when you say work with crystals? Like, how do I work with a crystal?
Oh,
And I thought that was interesting, because I was like, yeah, I say that all the time. But it just means like whatever you want to do, work with it. You can meditate with them, you could carry them with you. It's like tap into that energy. That's how you're working with them. You're working with them because you are using them for the frequency that they hold, the molecular structure, the frequency. So build a grid, or have them around your house, put them in places where you feel intuitive to. The organites do too. The organites that I have, a lot of them have intentions behind them. So if you're trying to manifest a specific intention, if you want more love into your life, you can get an organite that's all about love, or work with rose quartz or rhodonite, things like that. If you're trying to manifest maybe a new job, get something that is about focus and motivation, so that you can like manifest this new venture for yourself. Abundance, there's tons of abundance pyramids and abundant crystals that you can use. So it really depends on what it is that you're trying to manifest. But what these things do is, they're basically like, you're holding in physical form that energy that you're trying to create, that abundance, that love, that anything as health. You're holding it in your hand. So you're the one that powers it. But it helps you kind of like stay focused, and like not be all over the place. It's kind of like focusing on one place, on one object, in something that you can hold and use it for your meditation, or when you're doing your manifestation. So those are all great tools, and there's no rules either. We
no.
always say that.
That's what's beautiful working with these types of stones, and like put it in your pocket, in your jeans, when you step out, in your purse. Honey, if you wear a bra, put it in your bra, darling.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like that's working with your crystals, and that's what's so beautiful and magical with it, because you're literally keeping it close to you, so it's working with your energy and you're working with its energy at the same time. So that's just like dual power energy for you and your crystal. So I always say, just bring it with you wherever you go. Leave it in your car, leave it in your backpack. I put like crystals in my daughter's backpack. Honey, if you only knew what's in that little pouch with all of those little crystals. I'm like, leave it there, don't touch it, and don't share it to your friends, because you know how kids are. They'll, here, take it. Yes,
Right.
Like I should say to myself, well, that's good because if she's giving it away, it means that it did its job with her and now it's time for the next friend. But
Right.
I'm just saying because we know kids, they could give everything away, they would just do it. So,
Yeah.
oh gosh. Do you had anything else to share with our audience member before we head to the end of the show?
No, I just wanted to say if you guys have suggestions about things that you guys want us to talk about, because I know I said at the beginning we're kind of like going back to basics and kind of going over these concepts again. Like drop it down on the comments and let us know because we do read them and it'll help us with come up with like new shows for you guys in the future. So
Yes. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And don't forget, at the end of this show tonight, live at 8 p.m., it's the Beyond the News Breaking Woos with Janine and Jean Claude available for you IAP members. And you could watch it on the replay pay per view that will be posted around 9, 10 o'clock for the pay per view on beyondmystic.net. And if you want to find the amazing work of Carla, hop into the Ascension Organites right here. She has the promo of the Black Friday ending very soon. Remind people how when is this ending?
tomorrow at midnight.
So y'all, there you go. It is time to shop for your holiday gifts, or if you want to gift yourself. Listen, I'm going to gift myself because it's my birthday today. I forgot to mention
Oh my
that
God,
during the
that's
beginning of the
right.
show. Exactly. It is my birthday today, y'all. I am 44 and I am going with the flow, honey. See, even my light turned off.
Oh,
Like, listen, like my light said, Coco, you have too much light to shine. Let me turn off the light right here and you shine your light, girl. Listen, I'm telling you,
it's like everybody just wish Coco happy birthday in the comments and send her
this is
gratitude.
amazing. I'm telling y'all, if I'm lying, I'm flying. Listen. So, everybody, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Jean Claude Beyond Mystic 003, and as well the Rumble channel. It is Jean Claude at Beyond Mystic. So, here we are at the end of the show. Until next time, y'all, stay aligned, stay fabulous, stay grateful, and remember you are always manifesting. See you soon. Bisous, bisous.
Bye.
Bye.